There was a story told of two monks. They were leaving their own monastery to go to another monastery for a recollection, a day recollection. And the monastery they are going to is about 10 miles away from theirs. There was a younger monk and an older monk. And as soon as they got to the river bank, they saw a very beautiful lady who was physically challenged. And the older monk decided to help her by carrying her to the other side of the river. As soon as she put her down, the younger monk said, "You know, we are bound by our celibacy law not to relate with women inappropriately. Why would you have to carry her?" The older monk did not say anything. They went to the other monastery for their recollection, and as they were coming back, they got to the river to cross. Then the younger monk looked at the older monk again. "Earlier in the morning I told you, why would you have to carry a lady? We shouldn't do that as monks. We're celibate." Then the older monk looked at him intently and he says, "I only helped a sister in need. And as soon as I carried her, I left her by the river bank. Why are you still carrying this sister in your heart? Why are you still carrying this sister in your heart?" Between these two monks, we find two sentiments at work. One who is obeying the letters of the law, being a celibate, and the other one who is following the spirit of the law. Friends in Christ, where do we belong? Am I someone who follows only the letters of the law, or as a Christian follows the spirit of the law? And that is what Jesus is getting at today in our readings of today, especially in our gospel. Jesus is saying emphatically and is insisting on the spirit of the law. And to go by the spirit of the law, priority must be given to love, to justice, to kindness, to generosity, and to trust, and to honesty in our dealings with our fellow human beings. It's the same reason why Jesus, in our readings of today in the gospel, is saying that I have not come to abolish the law, but I have come to fulfill the law. And the early Christians, they knew quite all right that with the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, a new age is coming into play. Look at the instances today given in our gospel reading. The first one has to do with conflict management, conflict resolution. Jesus calls us to always reconcile with our brothers and sisters when we have problems with them. Because Jesus is echoing the prophecy of Hosea chapter 6, verse 6. "It is mercy that I want, not sacrifice. That mercy must precede our sacrifice." Dearest friends in Christ, our readings today, especially the gospel, invite each and every one of us to seek reconciliation rather than allow deadly anger escalate into murderous threats. Jesus wants us to treat ourselves with dignity and respect and not exploit one another, especially in spousal relationships. Jesus is inviting each and every one of us, for those who are married, to obey our vocational commitment, our marital commitment. Jesus, on a general note, is asking each and every one of us to be honest in our dealings with one another. When we look at these readings today, Jesus is not saying all of these to crush the spirit of his listeners. Neither is he saying these to pull them down. But he's saying all of these to inspire them and to inspire us as well, each and every one of us, that when we align ourselves with God, we can reveal the beauty and the goodness of God in creation. We are being reminded today that we are daughters and sons of God, capable of revealing the goodness and the beauty of God in creation. And how do we do all of this? We'll find our answers in our first reading and our second reading of today, talking about wisdom, the immensity of God's wisdom. It is the wisdom of God that allows us to know what is right from what is wrong. It is the wisdom of God that allows each and every one of us to discern in our society what society says, for instance, is legal from the Christian perspective might be wrong. It is the wisdom of God that allows us as families to lead our children on the right path. It is this wisdom of God that we are being told in our first reading today, that this wisdom of God does not give us the license to sin. It does not give us the license to act unjustly. Friends in Christ, if you may ask me, what is the wisdom of God? The wisdom of God, St. Paul says in our second reading of today, is Jesus crucified. Jesus is the power and wisdom of God. Jesus is the one who can teach us how to reconcile with our brothers and sisters. Jesus is the one who allows us to live our Christian life. And Jesus wants us to align ourselves with the wisdom of God. When we align ourselves with the wisdom of God and live by the wisdom of God, the responsorialism comes alive in us. Blessed are those who follow the law of the Lord. These laws are no longer written on tablets, according to Ezekiel. They are written in our hearts. And that is why when we have issues with our brother, we should not allow anger fester for too long in our hearts. We should always seek reconciliation. It is not easy to be a Christian in this age and time. And that is why we need the wisdom of God in our life to navigate the twists and turns of life. We are called not just to follow the letters of the law, but to always follow the spirit of the law. When we follow the spirit of the law, God abides in us. And our prayer, the opening prayer, becomes more visible. The prayer we said this morning, O God, who teach us that you abide in hearts that are just and true. Grant that we may be so fashioned by grace as to become a dwelling pleasing to you. It is the wisdom of God that can lead us in our lives. Am I open to this wisdom? Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, what God has ready for those who love Him. Spirit of God, come give us the mind of Jesus. Teach us the wisdom of God.